Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another Spiritualistik Pick a Card reading. Today we are looking at your December 2025. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group 1 on the left with Extraterrestrial downloads, group 2 in the center with Psychometry and Clairabilities, and group 3 on the right with Holding Space. I would like to announce that I have a discount on my one-on-ones if you're interested. I also have Black Friday sales on my whole spiritual shop, so check that out. I have a sale for Black Friday, one for Christmas, one for New Year's, so now is the time if you are interested in that. It's also a good time to give a gift to a loved one. I've noticed that being surprisingly popular as well in the years previously. So if you'd like to meditate with me, that is the first link in the description box. I've got Patreon. I've got a little book club over there if you're interested. I also post exclusive pick-a-cards. You can sign up to my YouTube membership channel, of course. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please and thank you. It is one of the best gifts you can give me this holiday season. Speaking of, I've got my P.O. box if you want to send me your Christmas card. Low-key, I would love that, so don't shy away. If you're like, I kind of want to send Colleen a picture of like me and my family and like my dog, I would love to see it. If you want. Okay, no pressure. Anyway, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm at all the places. My handle Spiritualistik, Etsy, TikTok, Instagram. You know what the deal is. Anyway, I do want to let you know, I will go over this again in the individual readings, but the way that I do this is I go through the astrology for the whole month. I separate it into weeks, and then I tell you the very, very, very general energy themes. So I'm not sitting here telling you we're going to have Mars trine Mercury in Cancer. Rather, I'm going to tell you the general astrological themes. We're going to go week by week, and then we're going to pull tarot for your specific energy and how it's going to be impacted by that. And then we'll pull advice at the very end. So if you want to pull out a notebook and a pen and paper so that you have a little bit of an outline so that you can carry it with you through November, I do recommend that. If not, you can always come back to this reading. I am going to share my notes with you this time because I tidied them up a little bit so they're legible, so I'll share them with you. So if you want, you can just screenshot that as well too, so you don't have to write it down yourself. So with that being said, I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and drop a little Christmas tree emoji if you're hearing this from the intro. I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group 1. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking at your December 2025, and you selected the first group with the Extraterrestrial downloads card. Now, the first thing that I'm getting here is this is definitely going to be an intuitive and very spiritual month for you. For a lot of you, December is the time of the year where you might get intellectual, intuitive energies, downloads, connect more strongly with your spirit guides. I'm getting a few of you have a significant cycle that usually repeats around this time of the year, but I'm also getting that you've broken it. Actually, I'm also receiving the message that you have a special spirit guide or a few that usually connect with you around this time of the year, whether it's energetically, whether it's clairsentiently, or whether you are seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, knowing it. Regardless, this is going to be something that is supercharged this year. Your spiritual gifts this December are going to be phenomenal. You're going to love this month. It's going to be including, I'm receiving as well, novel spiritual experiences that you can't quite put words to yet. So this might be a good time for you to pick up a journal or to do some automatic writing if that's something that you like to do. Just spitballing here. So group number 1, what I am going to do is I'm going to share with you my notes for December, just super general. Okay, this isn't my whole entire astrological thing. I put this together when I'm doing my content planning. So I'm going to cover the part of me content planning and just show you the top, because this is also part of how I, do what I do as well. So we're going to go week by week with the tarot. And this way you don't have to take notes if you don't want to, or you can just screenshot this. Boom. All right, there you go. So we have week number 1, which I have as December 1 through 6. I'm just going Monday through Saturday, or Sunday through Saturday here. We have strategic planning and foundations, long-term goals, developing disciplined routines, taking practical steps towards your aspirations, so on and so forth. Week number 2 is the 7th through the 13th. The general themes here are innovation, vision, individuality, and humanitarianism, as well as like looking at a better future, new ideas, communities, rebellion a little bit. I do want to also mention the way that this impacts you and your chart and your energy will be highly, highly individualized based upon your chart and how the transits affect you, where you have your planets. These are just the general, super general themes. I'm trying to keep this like general for the astrology so that it's, good for everybody. And then we get into the individuality with the tarot here, okay? Week 3, we have the 14th through 20th of December. The general themes here are progress, originality, intellect, collective consciousness. We have change, group effort, freedom, and mental like intellectual exploration here. Week 4, we have December 21 through 27. This looks at emotional intelligence, spirituality, intuition, expression, creativity, empathy, compassion, introspection, emotional well-being, things like this. Okay, so this, for some of you, this is going to be like the spiritual upgrade week, and for some of you, it's going to be the emotional shadow work week. Some of you, it might be a little bit of both. We'll look at the tarot, okay, for you. Week 5, we have December 28 through 31. The general theme here is release, dreams, innocence, reflection, perpetuation, setting intentions, artistry, maybe astral realm, dream realm, Akashic records, your dreams, but also dreams in the form of aspirations, as well as like the dreams you have when you sleep as well. We also have like closing things out, releasing endings, releasing what doesn't serve you kind of vibes, a little more so than chopping things out of your life. But again, we'll look at your energy here specifically. So let's get into the tarot here. Angel, spirits, guides, ancestors of group number 1 and source, tell us about week number 1 of December for group 1. Okay, so it looks like a lot of reflection here. Now, again, the theme for week 1 is long-term goals, strategic planning, and foundations. You are looking at what's worked, what doesn't, and you're also having a bit of an aha moment here, which I love to see. There's something here where it feels as though something worked for you in the past, but maybe it wasn't stable. So either you weren't able to sustain it, or it's something that was a little bit just of a light flicker and it worked, but maybe it was like a wave in something that's largely stable wherever it is, okay? So we see reflecting here and having an aha moment about how to make something more sustainable and taking a step in this direction with some sort of a long-term goal. We see that you have a little bit of an emotional awareness too, of wanting something to be foundational, but also being able to detach from it. We have the idea here that maybe whatever this is that you're doing, it might not be where you land, which isn't a bad thing. It's actually a positive thing because it gives you the ability mentally, physically, emotionally, and intellectually to dream bigger than this, which makes this goal easier to attain, but it's also, there's a little less stock in it as well. So this is what we see week number 1. So this could be at work, it could be with your finances, it could be with a relationship, it could just be with where you see your life going in general. So we have reflection, we have clarity and optimism here, we have a new beginning, we have feeling really, really fulfilled, and then we also have, wait, this isn't all that there is for me. So for example, say that you really want to take dance classes. Well, when you start telling yourself that maybe you show up to the dance classes and you don't really love how you do, you maybe compare yourself to other people, maybe you wonder if your, leotard is fitting right on your body, I don't know, random things. If you tell yourself, maybe I'd like to dance in a company, and it would be really cool to focus on my whole body wellness instead of just specifically this style of dance. So you have bigger goals. So that kind of will make the dance class easier. It doesn't feel like it's your end goal. Your end goal is actually bigger, but you're also working towards something bigger that make the dance classes better, but not because that is your goal. You're focusing on your holistic body wellness because you're looking at how your body works, not how it looks. It's kind of an energy like this because you're looking for something greater. It's kind of like, say that you want to expand your business. Instead of looking at the core of the business and saying, okay, where can I add more space? You're looking at, okay, what is the bigger goal here and how can I work backwards? And also you've experienced something like this in the past, but for some reason it wasn't sustainable because you didn't either have the clarity on how to sustain it or you couldn't sustain it because you didn't have clarity on how to make that work for you. Or this was something where you thought, well, this is where you're going to end up anyway. So maybe you It was easier to let go of because you thought that there was a lot of pressure attached to it occurring. So the first week, you're kind of looking at this energy here, setting a plan for the future. It seems like a very successful week for you. Also, we have you expanding your goals and visions a bit more, which I really like to see. Shoot for the stars. What is that one phrase? If you shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars, or whatever that phrase is. But it's kind of giving this energy, so I really like it for you. Week number 2, we're looking at innovation. We're looking at your vision, individuality, how to make a better future for yourself and for others, new ideas, communities, and a little bit of that like rebellion energy, standing out from the crowd. So here you have a little bit more precision in your clarity, because the Sun is clarity, Ace of Swords is also clarity, but in a different way. You have more clarity about yourself. We see you self-reflecting here and looking at the way that, we have you looking at the way that you have either been hurt in the past by others, by yourself, by situations, by vibes, whatever it is. We see things that have been difficult for you in the past and how this has contributed to your confusion among what your next step is or should be, could be. And we have here you having clarity about how to break through this. It's like saying goodbye to this energy once and for all. The confusion, the stress, the anxiety, the pressure, because now you have this bigger vision. It's the pressure of being that teacher's favorite in the dance class, or being the one with the prettiest arch, the prettiest pointed toes in the dance class, because you're not worried about that anymore. You want to join Alvin Ailey. So you're not worried about if that teacher likes you or not. You're thinking about Alvin, right? So there's this different vibe here. However, it's also going to bring up some things where you realize maybe where you could have been held back a little bit. This is about releasing, okay? So this for you, it's about clearing up that vision and seeing kind of the things that start to pop up with that vision. So now all the things that are ready to get released, they're saying, hi, I'm here. Where do you want me to go? And you're going to go, there's the door, okay? So that's week number 2 for you. We see that you do have clarity. And this is going to be more of an introspective week, so I wouldn't be surprised if you were a bit quieter or a bit more introverted or meditating a little bit more this week. It's just kind of the vibe. It's not giving like really deep shadow work, but it is giving like you know what you want, you know what you're headed towards, and so 8 of Cups, it's simultaneously manifesting something and also detaching and walking away. Being detached from the outcome here, but also understanding that sometimes doors are closed for you because you don't see that there's something bigger out there for you. It's kind of giving the vibe of the highest, what is that phrase? Sometimes your path is harder because your calling is higher. It's giving a little bit of that. But this is looking at the struggles and going, oh, that's where my calling is. It's higher than I thought it was, which means that this stress, this pressure associated with landing here, it was intentional because it was supposed to show me, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to go to here. I'm supposed to go through here, past here. And so this is week number 2 for you. Week number 3, this is the progress, originality, intellect, collective consciousness as well. So how does this fit in with the group? How are you progressing? How are you like being yourself, like in a room, right? It also looks at like mental exploration, new ideas, freedom, group effort, change. 4 of Swords, it seems as though you are learning or reviewing some sort of a healing tool. So you might be learning about, say this is like anxious attachment and the way that you might feel anxiously attached to your job or your finances or something that's kind of innovative here a little bit. This is looking at you feeling rested. And now that you're more rested, you're a little more chill or you're a little more bubbly. And so you're kind of walking down the street with a pep in your step, hypothetically, like, geez, like, there's this old trend that was circulating a long time ago that's like, when you arrive at the beach, it's like, oh, I've never had a problem a day in my life. Everything's always been super great. What's a problem? It's kind of giving this energy a little bit. I know you're looking at the 4 of Swords going the 7 of Wands going, what? Where are you getting that? I can feel it. Okay. 2 of Swords is a reminder that this is a choice. Okay. So this is where you are faced with a choice of the way that you would like to interact with a community, specifically week 3. Okay, so there's a little bit of a, well, if you're not going to land at this, let's just use the dance example. I don't know why that's one that popped up, but if you don't want to land in this dance class, you're shooting for Alvin Ailey someday, okay? If you want to join that dance company, there's a question of, Well, do you really want to be best friends with the people around you who share this common interest with you and who are also taking this class with you? They are localized, they have the same hobbies as you, the same interests as you, but they don't have the same ideals and goals and aspirations and maybe visions for the future. Same maybe progress as you. Maybe they don't have the same intellectual freedom as you do. Maybe there are some limiting beliefs. So there's a question of this here. We see that this week it's less focused on fun and community and more focused on stability, foundation. It's a little bit of this, well, I'm hearing the phrase like cut the shit. Okay, so it's a little bit of this, but it's not harsh. It's just kind of this, you feel inspired and you have this vision and you're like, oh my God, I got it. And so week number 2, you start to kind of say, okay, well, what is in here that kind of needs to get released? What is in here that's not serving me because I've realized something bigger than this? Okay, so what are the other little petals that are going to fall off as I blossom another layer? And week number 3 is, okay, so starting to embody it. Okay, maybe you're feeling a little bit naked. Okay, maybe you're feeling a little bit like, okay, I gotta be really serious, or a little bit like quirky, or a little bit pep in your step. You're feeling different. And so there's a little bit of this hyper awareness of how you are connecting with those around you, if you should connect with those around you. It can also be like energetic sensitivity for some of you as well. You're focused on your stability and your happiness. You're focused on, for some of you, it's like get in your bag. For some of you, it's, no, I'm really going to start locking in, taking this class seriously now. For some of you, it's a little bit of, I like, these people take it seriously, so I should hang out a little bit more with these people just for the mindset perspective, or something like this. Maybe I will sign up for those private classes so that I can really, really sharpen my skills. It's kind of giving this vibe a little bit. How are you going to wear it? I'm getting a little bit of a process of trial and error here, but it's more mental trial and error than anything. You're looking at where you were disempowered in the past, and you're no longer feeling that. And so moving forward, I'm not getting that you're disempowered as a whole. It's just that there might be a little sticky energy here that as it comes up, you're like, oh, great, that didn't serve me and I can release it. Now it's gone, and you're like, oh, now what, right? So you're moving, you're vibing it out, you're feeling it out, right? It's a little bit of this, feeling it out, okay? And so with this, you kind of are wearing this, I'm hearing the song Wide Open Spaces. There's a little bit of this, just awareness of this too. However, I am seeing a little bit of intensity coming here from you. So it's like, I want to say, be careful not to overcorrect, but like definitely do chase your goals, follow your dreams, take it seriously, make the changes you want to change. It's just as you're exploring this, there can be a little bit of an intensity here. If you're like, oh, these people aren't good for my mindset, like don't go cutting off all your friends, even if they're good people and you love them and they've been there for you since day one, just because maybe they don't also want to be like, I don't know, Fortune 500 CEOs, right? It's like, it's, a little bit of grace towards the end of week 3 is what I'm just getting here, okay? And then week 4, this is the one about EQ, spirituality, intuition, expression, creativity, empathy, compassion, introspection, emotional well-being. So this is actually a really positive segue into week number 4. And we do have the Wheel of Fortune here that came at the back of the deck. So I do want to say, like, week 3, week 4, you're going to notice things positively changing. This is where you're going to notice positive changes from the energy shift, from the emotional shift, from the mental shift, and from the shift in what it is that you've been doing and how you've been showing up. You're going to notice that, okay? So I do want to say with the Emperor in reverse, I say so gently, don't let him get inside of your head. Whether that's something external, whether that's someone telling you what to do or what you can do, or whether it's yourself telling you, that you are not good enough or that you're too good to be here, whatever it is, okay? So just don't let any proverbial things get to your head here. Just try to stay cold head, warm heart around this time of the month. So week number 4, we've got 21 to 27th of December. Okay, so this is the emotional, intuition, spirituality, expression, all the well-being stuff. Okay, you're gonna feel like seeing the serendipity of all the things that have occurred to get you to where you are. You're gonna feel a little bit of creative inspiration. This is gonna be a great week for you to meditate, to take a nap, to sign up for that breathwork class. This is a feeling of coming back to peace a little bit. And it's also when you kind of start to feel more, you're feeling it a little bit more. So you're not acting as if, you're not figuring it out mentally, you're not aligning to the vibration spiritually. It's a little bit more of you feel it. It's a little bit of that, I want it, I got it, I want it, I got it. It's that, but it's not it's not the attitude, it's not the mental, it's not the verbal, it's not even the vibe, it's the emotion, it's the feeling behind it, feeling it in your bones, feeling it in your body, except now it's like in your life. And you're also at this state of peace as well. So I'm getting that at this place, you feel like you can take on the whole world, but you might also feel a little bit vulnerable because it's a bit new. I am seeing that week number 4 is when you're going to receive either more resources for your goal, for your dream, or you're going to have some sort of positive experience that helps you get there. For some of you, this is going to be, receiving resources in some way that are going to help you in getting there, that are going to open up more options for you. We also have spiritual experiences. We've got vivid dreams. You did select the Extraterrestrial downloads card, which is definitely one of the funkier spiritual experiences in this deck. So we're looking at things like unconditional love, connection to source, divine creativity, sacred, like things like this. This divine unconditional love, divine peace, feeling like you're in your calling, your soul path. We see the universe supporting you, kind of feeling like a gust of wind comes and carries you through this week a little bit, and you feel divinely inspired, divinely connected. Everything's feeling serendipitous. You are exactly where you're meant to be. There's just this real feeling of beauty here, okay? Which lets me know as well that with this being the theme of this week, you're a very creative and introspective person already. You have a very high emotional IQ already. You're very good at expressing yourself. You've got the empathy, you've got the compassion, you've got the creativity. So this isn't an area of your life where you need to do work. And so because you're doing the work in the other areas, as the month kind of looks at other energies and you're looking forward towards bigger and better goals for yourself, this week kind of just takes you and says, here's a little kiss on the forehead. Mwah! Go play. I love you. Here's a bone. Like throwing you a bone a little bit. So it's a really nice energy. Week number 5 of December. This is, I have as the 28th through the 30th. Okay, so just those last few days. This is the release, and here's the tower. Okay. Release, this is dreams, innocence, reflection, perpetuation. This looks like, what are your dreams as a whole? This is kind of saying, oh, I want that thing. And then things start to change. And you're like, wait, but I want all of the things. And it says, well, we're going to kind of shake up the things that maybe aren't as stable, or the things that can't come with you, or the things that are putting vibes or thoughts or emotions or difficulties or things like this from you in your goal. These are going to be the things that start to shake up. Now, this is a tale as old as time. This energy is not unfamiliar for you, but we've got the tower out right away. This week it does look at innocence and perpetuation, which are the last lessons of Pisces. Okay, if you want to learn more about that, it's in my book, my astrology book, obviously, hopefully. But innocence and then perpetuation. It is that clarity, that pureness of heart, that pureness, that clarity of path, that pureness, that clarity of all of these wonderful things. So we have setting your intentions, the artistry. This is also where astral, akashic energies are coming through. So you might be unlearning, like you've recently learned something, you've got a spiritual awakening, probably the week beforehand and a few throughout the month. However, it's going to also show you a few things that, well, it's time to unlearn. A few of which they're going to get released, but let's just say they might have some claw marks on them once they are released, okay? A couple of things that you really would love to hang on to, but you see bigger than them now. So there's going to be some sort of a release, but it's going to be something that's a bit foundational or deeper for you. It's like a long-held belief or something that you didn't even realize that you had, okay? I'm not getting an emotional reaction to releasing this, so don't worry too much about it not feeling really pleasant. It's just something where you kind of were like, dang, I was duped, or it's something like this. And I want to say here, especially spiritually, all spiritual experiences are valid, okay? We will continue to learn and unlearn. That is the process. And the things that we learn, we will always eventually unlearn, because everything you can fathom, there's something greater than that. Everything you can fathom, there's something greater than that. The whole universe, the whole cosmos, they're all infinitely expanding. And so with that being said, there's always going to be something new to learn. And with that, means something else needs to unfold and release. And so this is kind of what we're looking at here with the Magician and the Fool, and especially the vibe of this week. This is largely going to be some sort of a belief that you've held on to for a long time, something that you've been maybe a bit stubborn towards, but it's also something that didn't feel this is something that didn't feel emotionally fulfilling for you. However, it's something that you feel as though it was supposed to help you get to where you're going, but you feel like it was kind of hindering your growth at the same time. But it wasn't supposed to do that, or the belief system is that it's not going to do that. Something like this. Okay? You're going to be, I'm hearing, making money moves, okay, that are going to be emotionally fulfilling for you, week number 5, okay? You're going to be speaking your truth, or just acknowledging it to yourself, like writing it in your journal. It's not giving like standing up on a stage, preaching it to people, like making a TikTok about it. But what it is giving though is like speaking that truth out loud or acknowledging and recognizing that truth. And it feels like something that's been gently humming within your heart, something that's been gently knocking on your door, your intuition, your medulla oblongata here, something that's been knocking. And you look at it and you're like, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, I'll open the door for you as soon as I finish doing my dishes, right? It's something like this. The door's not open and unlocked, right? But you know that it's there. So now it's going to be coming up. Okay, so week number 5. Again, it's not going to be something that's emotionally difficult for you to let go of. It's just going to be something where, you know, when you have an awakening and it feels so good to be at that new level, and then you look back and you're like, oh, there were a lot of beliefs in there that were underneath that. And if you're saying no, congratulations. You're about to know what that feels like. But most of you, you do know what it feels like. And it feels so good, too. But it's not giving, we don't have ego death cards. Okay, we don't have things that are going to hurt you, like emotionally cards. We don't have the cards of things that are going to confuse you. We just have clarity, truth, awareness, remembering. And as you remember that, you go, oh, okay, I see how I was trying to reach that conclusion, but I maybe listened to this person or that person, or made an assumption over here, or took this experience a little too seriously or a little too literally, or 111 was supposed to show me 1 and then 1 and then 1. It wasn't supposed to be a new beginning and 1 3 times, and then it's an angel number, and it's also like both a master number with an extra 1 and then also 1 which is 3, because it's 3 times, like, you know what I mean? When we kind of do we bend over backwards a little bit, we do the mental gymnastics, we do the spiritual gymnastics too. Okay, so there are going to be a few of these things where you've done it, other people have done it, you've like absorbed it, listened to it. There are going to be some of these things that unfold. It's going to feel good. It's going to be clear, okay? But it's also going to be some sort of a long-held belief. I am seeing that. So just be open. If you want, you can think of it like in your house, you have certain rules that apply. In other people's house, there are different rules that apply, right? You can just think of it like this, right? In different rooms, different levels of consciousness, different, I don't like to say levels when we're looking at stuff like this, because all spiritual experiences are valid, okay? But they're not all based in full truth. They might be based in subjective truth. They might be a little carrot to get you towards the next layer of deeper truth. But it's easy to collect stories, right? We read a fiction book. We learn to read energy. We see people walking down the street. We collect little narratives. We pick up on information about them, but then we have a whole narrative about them, and then you go talk to them, and they might say, wow, I don't understand how you see me so deeply, but also some of those facts aren't true about me. And you go, what? Because there's just something that wants to unfold, right? Like, yeah, you might not take your shoes off in your house, but you take your shoes off in my house, and that's okay. One's not better. They're just different. So let's take a look at your December advice here. We had the Justice card at the back of the deck before I started shuffling, so I do want to say, all's well that ends well. Okay, getting that message. Things are going to be balanced. They're going to be quite balanced for you. I'm getting a reflection of something or someone that you used to love. Okay, so allow that reflection to come through and try to open up your heart space to it. It's not saying you need to let your ex back in your life. It's not saying that, okay, you're supposed to go do this thing again or take those classes again or start this hobby again. Do what feels right for you, but open up your heart to this. There's going to be some sort of an intellectual or mental stimulation and lesson here. Something about the universe setting boundaries for you when you don't, and you setting boundaries for you when the universe doesn't. There's a little bit of this realization of, oh, we got each other's back kind of vibe. So advice for you is going to be to continue to pour into your self-love. I'm getting just amp up the self-love practice a little bit, however that works for you, okay? Whether it's journaling, maybe when you normally don't, or journaling a little bit more, pulling out those dream journals again. Whether it is listening to some more readings like this, whether it is doing, picking up a couple extra face masks and doing those, or booking an extra appointment, whether it's meditating a little bit extra or saying no to hanging out with some of your friends so you can have some TLC with yourself, or vice versa. Okay, focusing on your stability here. Things are changing really positively for you, but there is also a little bit of this whirlwind energy. You're going to be riding this wave a little bit, which is really good, but also, in order to ride a wave, you kind of got to be in tune with the ocean a little bit, right? It's super easy to let the whitewash kind of smack you around a little bit. It's really easy to look at the other surfers. It's really easy to get excited with all the waves. You want to lay on your back. It's fun. There's so much that you can do out there. But this wave, it's going to pick you up and it's going to carry you. You're going to feel really lucky, really blessed. So just try to remain in the flow and give yourself a little bit of self-love before and a little bit of self-love after. It's going to be a really positive month for you. You're going to find that it's very lucky. Okay, but try not to overextend yourself, and also try not to get too excited. I'm getting to remind you can't take everyone with you. Your blessings are yours alone. So don't try to give them away, even as kind and as sweet and amazing as you are, and as magnetic or in their giving energy the people around you are. Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's not that you need to give them something you don't necessarily have to give them. Sometimes it's the fact that their receiving energy is like turned on, okay? And yours is. So keep those blessings that are coming towards you, okay? There's a lot of abundance. There's that Justice card coming out again. There is a lot of abundance here for you this month. I'm also getting that there are going to be some areas, specifically spiritually, where you're feeling like you are like 100%, like you are maxed out, maybe, of consciousness. You're like, there's no way there's higher consciousness than this. Or there are some areas where you're like, I am at my fullest completion of my spiritual journey in this life. Boom, I did it. Or for a few of you, but not most of you, there's like 100% effort that's asked for you in your spiritual devotion or your spiritual practice. Or it might just be that it becomes more important to you. So maybe you've got an extra little ritual throughout the day, an extra little practice throughout the day, an extra little meditation throughout the day. It's kind of, there's just the 100, but 100% that's showing up. I'm also being shown 108 here. I know we've got a little bit of a different number than this, but 108, this is the number of beads on a mala. So some of you might want to throw on your japa mala or utilize those meditation beads, those prayer beads. It is also used in other things like the Lotus Sutra, sometimes Om Mani Padme Om. There are some, I think Ganesha is 108. I'm sure there are like hundreds and hundreds of things that align with that number, but it is a spiritual number, and it's also a devotional number. It's also a number of abundance. So if there's something around you in your life, or especially in your spiritual practice, that aligns with the number 108, okay, that's highlighted this month. For some of you, it's going to be a mala month for you, or that's advice, okay? I'm getting rose quartz and carnelian as well. I don't think I've pulled crystals before in these monthly readings, so that's kind of fun. I like that. I don't have a deck of crystals, like a deck of crystal cards. So when they come up, it's usually just energetically. Okay, some bigger advice for December for you. It's to trust that you're going to be successful and victorious in these bigger dreams. So do create the thing. Do love yourself enough to maybe stay up an extra hour and work on that little side project, okay? Do love yourself enough to say those affirmations in the mirror, or to believe in yourself a little bit extra, okay? Do create the thing. For some of you, this is going to be a month where you are feeling extra beautiful, or you're feeling extra fertile, or you're feeling extra creative, or you're feeling extra just like confident. And all of these things are beautiful and wonderful as well. The care that you have to give, there's going to be a lot of extra caring and nurturing energy that you have at this point in time, and you're being encouraged fully to give it to yourself, okay, in the present moment. There's something about you always giving to yourself in the future. You're always giving to your future self, but the goal that you had for your future self was small and humble. Now the goal that you have for your future self, it's a lot bigger, and you're being encouraged to give all that love to yourself right now, which is a different dynamic. It's an energetic and alchemical shift, so apply it as feels comfortable and relevant and necessary for you. That is a vibe that's coming through. You are going to have a few positive surprises this month. You are going to have a few surprise victories, so keep an eye out, keep an ear out, and you've got your lucky cap on this month, so with everything that's going on, trust that you're doing an amazing job. You're going to be met with some surprises spiritually, some surprise spirit guides coming through again to say hello and guide you through the process. You're going to have some energies of luck that kind of come through. We've got some abundance, a lot of abundance coming through, a lot of spiritual growth for you as well. And it's going to really positively impact your material situation, but that's not going to be the focus in December. You're going to be feeling really, really blessed and also really, really giving. And you're being encouraged to give that to yourself, because I'm being shown like a sink with a drain in it. So you can be receiving, you can have the faucet on, but as you are receiving, it might just be going down the drain. And you might want to give away to others, which is cool. You can put the little stopper in and it will keep some of the water for you and give some of it away too, but you're being encouraged to let the sink fill up, let the cup overflow, and see what it feels like to give from the overflow again. Okay, so that is your advice for December. Also, I feel like I want to tell you congratulations, and some of you are going, for what? And I'm going, exactly. Like, you're not supposed to know yet, but you can feel it. December's definitely gonna pass you with a little bit of extra sparkles, a little bit of extra magic. And I'm getting a few of you could use it too. So it's gonna be really positive. So I love this for you, group number 1. This is your December 2025. If you'd like a more personal reading, or you want to take a look at 2026, I can offer this reading, but go over all of 2026 for you. So if you want to do one of those, you can book a personal with me. They are discounted from now and Black Friday, Christmas, and New Year's. I have discounts on my one-on-one, so you can check those out on my Etsy shop. It's linked in the description box. I've got a whole spiritual shop there, and you can also find all of my readings, my Reiki, and things like that. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Drop a little 4-leaf clover emoji if this was your reading. If you'd like the video, share it with your friends if that resonates with you. If you would like, you can join my book club, meditate with me, or look at more exclusive pick a card readings. That will all be on my Patreon, linked in the description box below. I do have my little YouTube membership channel over here as well, where I do a lot of channeled messages, so you'll find most of that over there at this point in time. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and Spiritualistik across platforms. I look forward to working with you and seeing you more in the future. So thank you for being here. I hope you have an amazing day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm, and have an amazing December 2025, especially you, group number 1, because this is gonna be a memorable month for sure for you. I love you, I'm grateful for you, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at your December 2025 predictions. You selected the second group with the Psychometry and Clairabilities card. Group number 2, I'm definitely getting that December is going to be really spiritual for you. You're going to be awakening spiritual and psychic gifts. You might be sharing spiritual and psychic gifts. You might be expanding in your consciousness. I'm getting a lot of you might be connecting with, I'm just getting a vibe of old people in your life. So for some of you, this might be, say that this is the holiday season for you. Maybe by touching that ornament that used to belong to your great-great-grandfather, you can connect with him in that way. Alternatively, this might be the time to get rid of your ex's hoodie. So what we're going to do is go week by week in December 2025, and first I've pulled and consolidated the super general astrological themes. So I'm not going to go over the transits with you, and also, like I said, these are general, so take a look at your personal chart to see how these might affect you. Usually I'll say take out a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. I still do recommend that. I am going to share my notes with you so you can screenshot it so it's a bit easier. And then, of course, we'll go week by week with the tarot, and we'll look at December as a group. I do also offer this reading if you want to take a look at 2026 with the transits as well. We can do that. I have discounts for Black Friday, for Christmas, and for New Year's. So taking a look at December 2025, first we'll go over the general astrological themes. Now is the time to screenshot. I'm covering the bottom half of the page because this is also where I do my content planning for the month. So week 1 I have as December 1 through 6. The general themes are strategic planning and foundations, long-term goals, developing disciplined routines, taking practical steps towards your aspirations. Week number 2 I have is the 7th through the 13th, and this looks at innovation, your vision, spirit, individuality, humanitarianism. It looks at building a better future, cultivating new ideas, forming communities, getting more involved in communities, and also rebellion a little bit, so going against the grain. Week number 3 is the 14th through the 20th, which looks at progress, originality, intellect, collective consciousness, and it also looks at change, group efforts, how you relate to those groups around you, freedom, and intellectual mental exploration, new ideas, learning new topics, unlearning, relearning, and things like this. Week number 4 I have is the 21st through 27th. This looks like your emotional intelligence, spirituality, intuition, expression, and it also looks at things like creativity, introspection, empathy, emotional well-being, compassion, etc. So I have week number 5 as those last few days here as the 28th through 31st. This looks at releasing. This looks at your dreams, innocence, reflection, innocence and perpetuation, okay, are 2 big lessons. So this means that you're closing out something that you've already closed it out, but energetically you have fully purified it, and now you are stabilizing and perpetuating that new beginning. So this is also looking at your dreams, like the ones you have at night, and also your aspirations. It's looking at setting intentions, artistry. It's looking at releasing what doesn't serve you, endings, soft endings, okay, like energetic endings more so than physical endings, astral energies, Akashic records, things like this as well. So that would be the week to write in if you have your dream journal. It doesn't need to be the one that I make, but it can be a dream journal, whether it's dreams, again, like your aspirations, or dreams like the ones that you have at night. I like to write down the ones that I have at night. It helps me throughout my journey. So let's take a look at the tarot and see how week number 1 is going to go for you. So, okay. Week number 1, I'm getting that you're going to be getting a surprising love offer coming in. Now, that would normally not be the first energy that I associate with the Knight of Cups, but it's really coming through. It seems as though there's an offer here that has been like hidden for a while, or a little bit guarded, or maybe just someone that's a little bit shy coming through. We see a little bit of a grounded energy, a stability coming through the first week, which is really great, and the Lover's card. Wow, okay. So week number 1 for you, it's going to be surprisingly positive. Now, I'm not getting that you're expecting anything negative, but let's just say you might get swept off your feet a little bit. You're going to have some really good conversations. You're going to feel really financially or materially comfortable. You're going to feel stable. So there are situations in your life that might have been a little bit rickety before that are going to feel more stable. And you're going to continue to make the choice to see things from all different possible angles, but you're going to soften into like trust, soften into good feelings, soften into maybe heart-to-heart conversations and things like this. This is what's coming through the first week. Now, I do want to mention that this is also the energy of long-term goals. So there might be conversations about your aspirations for the future in some sort of a setting of, it can be romance, it can be with a friend, it can be with a potential business collaborator. Okay, so there's something like this about long-term goals, or just sharing your goals with other people. You already have a really good foundation for it. So it's a little bit more like letting people in on the vision than actually creating that foundation. We do have a little bit of a like developing routines energy as well. So this looks like ultimately a new person that is in your life, or someone who's maybe been shy and their presence is a little more known in your life, or someone who's maybe been lingering a little bit. This is a really positive energy. I just want to let you know who arrives in your life here. And in some way, there is an opportunity to put this person into your regular everyday routine. So this is like your new friend, and maybe you're not texting all the time 24/7 to the point where, you know, you're centering them. That's not the vibe that I'm getting. But this is someone where you share with them your hopes, your dreams, you get to know them a little bit more deeply. And at the same time, this person starts to become like a regular in your life. You wake up and maybe you have a text from them. It can be that you, maybe you have a little chat or a FaceTime every Sunday or something like this. This is normalizing someone as part of your regular routine. And also, again, looking at practically how this is going to move forward, and does it or does it not help you towards your aspirations. Week number 2. Okay, this is the innovation week with exploring your visions, communities, looking at a better future, new ideas, humanitarianism, individuality. We also did get this energy of feeling like this week something is just for you. It's really special. It feels like the universe has been hearing your call spiritually, and it's kind of, I'm getting the phrase throwing you a bone a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be a week that is really spiritual for you. You're going to feel, especially at the beginning of the week, that things are really working out in your favor. You're going to feel like you manifested something really pretty or something really beautiful, something really worthwhile. You're going to feel like you manifested a new beginning, or that you, it's feeling like a pat on the back from the universe for doing something right. This feels validating in some way, but it's not something that you have been struggling to arrive at this opportunity, this energy. So it's showing as something that is a natural reward for past effort, but it's also something where you might be a little bit guarded towards exploring this, because there's a vibe of wondering at this point if it's too good to be true. We do have individuality and also how this connects to the group a little bit. So there's a vibe of, is it in everybody's best interest if I take this opportunity? Is this the humanitarian thing to do, even if it's an act of self-love? Maybe there's a question of, I don't want to get hurt, even though this is a really beautiful energy that's coming through. So we do have things like this that are coming up. We have here an opportunity for a new future for you. It's going to feel very validating. It's going to feel like a pat on the back. It's going to feel like finally, after all this time, something is coming through. It feels vibrationally aligned. It feels like something that you want in your heart. It feels like a good opportunity to take a step towards the future. Nonetheless, taking a step towards a future that you might be a little bit guarded about, because maybe you've needed to work too hard to get there. Maybe you've needed to focus on other aspects of life before this comes in order to stabilize yourself, in order to have new beginnings that are based upon your own efforts, right? So there might be a little bit of a journey of individuation here that turns into an opportunity that is stepping you into a future that you either once wanted really, really badly, and now you are hesitant towards stepping towards it because you're currently so stable. Or this is something that feels really, really magical and beautiful, almost a little bit too good to be true, but it's not. You also have the clarity here that this is something that spiritually you felt was yours for a long time. It's something you feel drawn to. Your intuition is validating it. Your heart is drawing you to it. You feel in your soul that it's meant for you. Okay, so there's just a smidge of getting in your head energy here, and it's not very prevalent, but it is showing up. So we don't want to focus on it because it's not even the focus of the cards that come out. Okay, we do have a new beginning. New beginnings are beautiful and wonderful. Sometimes a bit scary because we're not really sure what happens when we walk into that room, walk through that door, right? But it's going to be something that's reciprocated. It's going to be something that is a new part of your everyday routine, and you're going to really, really love it. Okay, it's also going to make you really happy. I want to notice here that this is going to make you really happy for a very long time looking into the future, okay? But it is going to require you letting your guard down in a particular area, okay? Now, this isn't going to be something that feels like it completes you, and that might be where part of the hesitation comes from, okay? Because you don't want something to come in that completes you. You're complete on your own. And so this is going to be something that comes in like a beautiful, wonderful, a little bit more than a cherry on top of your life, okay? But it is also going to offer you something better than you currently are and have been for a while. And you're also going to know that it's for you, okay? But stepping into the wild unknown, there will always be a little bit of a question mark around it at this point in time. So you're being encouraged to take the choice to honor yourself and love yourself by walking through this door. Okay, let's look at week number 3 for group number 2. This is the week of progress, originality, intellect, collective consciousness, okay, change, group effort, freedom, mental exploration. Okay, so here we see that you are starting to get a little bit excited, okay? We see that you're getting excited, you're getting comfortable with whatever these changes are that have happened in December. I'm getting that this is going to be probably a little bit of a month of, let's say, soft plot twists for you, group number 2. You're going to feel like this is really healing, actually. You're going to feel like you have successfully broken some ancestral patterns that have been a burden on you for a while. Now, there might be a question of how this relates to your family dynamic or some sort of community that is like a family or family to you, okay? This week, we have you continuing to move forward and giving it your all. Okay, and as you give it your all, you find that it positively changes some situations in your life. And there is a bit of a question of, should you put one thing on pause in order to, continue to move forward with this energy? I'm getting the world is your oyster. Okay, and there's a little bit of a maybe an ancestral energy here or something like this. This is going to be really significant this month for you already. Look at all the major arcanas and the beautiful cards that are coming out. So week number 3 of December for you, it's going to look like you getting really excited about these new plot twists and kind of regulating your nervous system accordingly. We're seeing this energy of finally having closed something out that wasn't yours to begin with. But as you do, you choose to move forward and you kind of, I'm getting commit to the bit, okay, and moving forward with it, which is really beautiful. But we do see this deliberation here because there's almost this nostalgic energy of looking back at how far you've come in order to make it to this point. And so it's like giving all those past versions of you that you needed to be in order to get here, like giving them all a really big hug and then saying, I release you with love. Thank you for all you've done for me. So it's a really beautiful, very impactful and powerful moment for you this week, actually. And this is going to be more of an internal experience than external things that are going off in your life. Okay, that's more the first 2 weeks so far. But it is going to make a big change in a particular and surprising relationship in your life that you might not necessarily feel is directly involved with the rest of these situations. Okay, so we see a turn, like a positive turn, a turn for the best in a foundational relationship with you. So this can be you with your inner child. This can be your relationship with spirituality or even with religion, with God, with the universe, with source. It can be with you and a parent. It can be with you and a childhood friend. It can be you and something like this, okay? We're seeing that there's something here that kind of closes out this chapter. And so there's going to be a relationship here that is kind of perpetually in that energy. And as you close it, you finally detach from it fully and you have all these beautiful, wonderful things going on. We have this imagery, remember, of you looking back and giving old versions of you a hug and releasing them with love, with a little kiss on the forehead, right? And we also have this healing a relationship in your life because you are on the full other side of something now, okay? And this energy might still be kind of running through old patterns and loops and cycles, but I'm getting that they're starting to get it because they see, they feel, they hear, they know beyond reasonable doubt that you are no longer, let's just say, on that boat with them. You're not on the same boat, okay? And that's something that they're proud of you for, and it's something they respect and look up to you for. Okay, so that's coming week number 3. I'm also getting this might not necessarily be expressed to you, not yet anyway, okay? But nonverbal communication is coming through, okay? So let's look at week number 4 here. I have this as the 21st through 27th. This is the EQ week, okay? Emotional intelligence, this is spirituality, intuition, expression, creativity, empathy, compassion, introspection, emotional well-being. It's this week, okay? So for you, group number 2, okay, this might be where we have this pivotal conversation. I'm getting conversations with 2 people in your life, okay, specifically. The one that was just mentioned, and also the one that we kind of have making more of an appearance in your life towards the beginning of December. We have a lot of really intellectually stimulating conversations that kind of also highlight some of the struggles and burdens that you have been through, but also where perhaps it wasn't validated or seen or understood or heard, or maybe you couldn't speak on them for whatever reason. There's some sort of a liberation of your truth here. It's like, say that you've been saying for 20 years, ow, that hurts, ow, that hurts, ow, that hurts. And someone's looking at you, but it's not registering, right? This would be when you said, yeah, that really hurt. And they're like, oh my gosh, that hurt. Like they actually hear it. They hear it, they see it, they feel it. It's like this, something finally clicks around you, okay? So there's this energy of you feeling seen and heard and understood. You're having some really good, pivotal, and monumental conversations with 2 important people in your life here. One that's new, one that's old, one that's fresh and pure, maybe a little bit shy and permanent, and another one that's foundational and maybe rocky a little bit and things like this. I'm hearing the song Rocky Raccoon. So raccoons could be significant. Someone's name could be Rocky, or maybe like the Beatles is significant. I don't know. I'm not going to guess. Okay, this is a general still. So week number 4 here, we do have emphasis on community building, on taking the next step here, and we do have you learning a little bit. There's a little bit of a learning curve here about holding empathy for yourself that you've needed to hold for others, and there's also a little bit of a learning curve of others holding empathy for you that you were holding for them and it wasn't returned. Okay, I'm kind of I'm getting like a Capricornian energy here. And now I don't mean Capricorn like you have to be a Capricorn or have that energy in your chart really strongly. But when I say this is the vibe of giving everyone so much slack and absolutely none to yourself. I know it's really easy to look at a Capricorn and go, oh, no, that's not what I'm picking up, right? But that is the internal experience of a Capricorn, or of Capricornian energy, okay? It can also be it doesn't just need to be earth signs as well. It's not like air signs, earth signs, and of course that doesn't need to be the case, but it's very intellectual, very stable, very rational, very precise. And so it's like if you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're not going to go 1, 8, 2, 9, 6, 5, 4, right? 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9. Because you know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so you might see someone else going 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, and they'll just sit there and go, yeah, yep, right? So it's just this energy here. But it's regarding a little bit more towards emotional intelligence, towards empathy, okay? For example, someone around you might have started going to therapy. For example, someone around you, we have this moment of you finally feeling heard, feeling seen, feeling understood, feeling validated. Not that you need the external validation, but again, we have this vibe of you receiving empathy from the people that you've been cutting way too much slack and receiving absolutely none from, including yourself. Okay. We have the King and Queen of Swords here, indicating that this is going to be a really big opportunity for you to meet someone in the middle, like verbally. So we've got some really good, I'm getting good paperwork. Okay, so there's some good paperwork that's going on. Maybe you're writing something or creating something. This week, there's going to be a lot of really good conversations where you kind of understand each other a little bit more, both with the new person and the old. We have getting on the other side of things. So like clearing up, I'm getting decades of miscommunication, or decades of potential miscommunication is what I'm getting here. And there's also like this learning, this aha moment of meeting in the middle where both parties feel this way. That is not just you shrinking yourself and I'm getting gentle parenting the other person, okay? It's actually a meeting of minds, a meeting in the middle, a common mutual understanding here. That is abundant, that is a teamwork effort, and at the end of the day, we do have something that feels like it can finally be closed and moved on from, and it feels like a victory. Also, this can be an energy that resonates as you having a conversation with this newer person in your life and feeling like they just really, really get you and you really, really get them, and kind of feeling like you can unravel each other's minds and actually be on the same wavelength a little bit more, and you kind of learn and feel that not only are you not alone, but other people kind of, like there are other people that get who you are or what you're going through, that listen to you, that learn from you, and you can learn from them too. Which is a piece of the puzzle that might have felt like it was missing. It's something that's abundant, where you feel like you are getting something out of the relationship, not just giving and giving and giving. And there's also going to be this moment of feeling victorious, like feeling on top of the world. It's kind of that vibe of, when you have good chemicals going off in your brain because you have a really positive experience and you're kind of riding that high a little bit. It's a little bit of the vibe that you're getting after these conversations. So it's a really positive week for you. Okay, it is going to be a bit of teamwork, so keep an eye out for collaborations. This is going to be the week you're going to want to create or launch collaborations. This is going to be the week where you're going to want to cash in or withdraw from certain accounts or things like this. This is going to be the week where I would recommend that you draft, sign, and send around contracts, okay? Things like this. So week number 5, I have just as the 28th through the 31st. This is all the releasing that doesn't serve you, the dreams, perpetuation, purity, reflection, artistry, things like this, okay? Setting intentions. So let's see week number 5 for group 2. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have a little bit of a plot twist here. It seems as though there's a conversation here that you had in the previous week that you might feel is a little bit doctored, okay? So this could be, say that you're talking to okay, so let me pull some more cards because I don't want to say, okay. We have miscommunication. That's in the beginning of this week. Okay, but it's not where, So there are conclusions that are drawn from the conversations from the past week. You meet a piece of clarity, you're feeling really, really, like, remember, you're riding that high because things are feeling really good, they're really good, okay? However, you're realizing that there's a missing piece of information, or you're realizing that someone has A and B and C about you, and so they conclude not only D and E and F, but they're concluding X and Y and Z. Okay, but that might not necessarily be the case. It can also be the other way around, but I'm not really getting that. So 7 of Swords, it's deception, but that with the 10 of Swords, it's like a mental deception that's largely a miscommunication, especially with the Queen of Swords here, that it's one that you're used to having, and you kind of might feel a little bit deflated. Not a lot, but you're really, really excited. And then you have this, maybe you are just like everyone else kind of moment here. So I'm seeing it. Okay. Maybe this, this collaborator, or maybe they are like someone else, like this vibe of, maybe wondering if this person deceived you, or wondering if they were being truthful with you, or wondering if they really understood, or if they were just saying that, right? Maybe they're just using therapy speak. Maybe it's not actually hitting the amygdala, right? But there's this powering through that brings about this renewal in the heart space, and this opening up in the heart space. Now, the challenge here is the vulnerability, okay? I'm seeing that you continue to give here, but instead of it being a rational energy, it's more of an emotional energy, okay? And this is why you're being encouraged to continue to move forward here, because ultimately, at the end of this week, there is a reflection that is positive where you realize that whatever occurred at the beginning of this week, this little hiccup here, this little difficulty, it might have actually pushed an emotional trigger for you and or for the other party. And that could be what the bigger problem is here than the initial thing. Okay, so we're just keeping an eye out for that as well, because we're noticing here that with the emotional that are coming up this month, there's a lot of actually rationalizing and intellectualizing here. There's a lot of intellectualizing emotions. There's a lot of perhaps wanting to move rationally based upon observing an emotion, and then again intellectualizing it and moving it forward like However, on both sides, or on all sides here, it seems as though this is actually the issue. So while observing your emotions, you don't want them to necessarily steer the ship all the time, right? This is a vibe of you learning to soften into your emotions, and for all parties involved too, and to open up into that deeper, more intimate, vulnerable space of sharing and letting people in, giving of yourself, giving of your heart, letting people in, and then trusting in that and in the conclusions of that as well. We have the Knight of Wands at the back of the deck with the Ten of Cups and the Death and Rebirth. So this is indicating that I'm getting, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it looks like a duck, then it's a duck, right? But if it walks like a duck, but you're not looking at it and it hasn't made a sound, we don't want to assume that it's a duck, right? And you might be saying, well, I don't. But based upon my conclusions, this is where the ducks hang out. And every single day I come here and this is where the ducks are, and I can hear the walk and I know what the pitter patter of the ducks, right? Hypervigilance. You're looking for red flags. You're trying to protect yourself. You want to make sure that you're safe. You want to make sure you're making good decisions. You want to make sure your emotions are observed, healthily processed, not steering the ship, but also not ignored. And again, like validated as well. But the piece that we're missing here is not only authenticated by you, but also shared with others. That vulnerability that's coming through. And so this is what we see as your slight challenge here. It might be that because of your rationality, maybe some of you are very intellectual, maybe some of you are very quick-witted, maybe some of you are just very, very educated, especially in spiritual or emotional matters, that might make you sound a little bit, I don't want to say cold, that's like not the right word, but let's just say precise or sharp or something like this. And so, one could come to conclusions about the emotions that are or are not present, or the shape that those take based upon your ability to rationalize, right? And it's not an inauthenticity, it's just a different level of moving through the world, not one that's higher or lower or good or worse or anything like this. But let's say that you can walk into a room and you can lead with your head, right? If your head is in front of the rest of your body, you can walk into a room and you can lead with your hips. Your hips are in front of the rest of your body, just gently. You can walk into your room and you can lead with your chest, with your heart space. That is in front of the rest of your body. And it depends on your posture. And there's not a right or wrong. It just is the way that we navigate through the world. And if we look at something that's more subjective, like dance, the choreography will ask you to specifically do one or another to create the right shape. And so our energetic imprints, especially wherever you are in your point in life, will have its own energy that leads. And so for you, that might not be emotions right now, or for them, it might not be emotions right now. And so it might be that these conclusions are being about your emotional state are at you, and it might be that they're by you. It might be that it's a little bit of both, and it's less of a projection, more of a conclusion, and it's something that through the emotional state and the emotional sharing can be very, very easily remedied, and also form a deeper emotional, spiritual, like intimacy there. Okay, so that is coming through for the last week. And also, I want to mention that this is something to keep in mind as well, because we do have opportunities to share little bits and pieces of these in the beginning. Some of you might say, I don't want to love bomb. Some of you might say, we have little opportunities to drop emotional phrases. So I would challenge you, we'll pull the advice here, but I would challenge you throughout December to gently drop just a few, or practice saying sentences that start with I feel, followed by an emotional experience that you're having. Okay? So let's pull some advice for December for you. I'm not getting that you're detached from your emotions, okay? That's not at all. It just might be, like some people really lead with their emotions and then their mind's like out the door, right? Some people lead with their emotions and they're extremely intellectual and rational, right? Some people are intellectual and rational and they don't lead with their emotions. And some people are intellectual and rational and they're not even connected with their emotions at all whatsoever. It's very relative, okay? So I'm getting for you that you're in a very healthy state, okay? Your advice here is to work on your, I'm getting like having fun with your spirituality again, as well as looking back at emotional intimacy, or looking back at other connections, looking back at your inner child as well as coming through, and making sure that you're giving yourself opportunities to get ahead of the curve, not just in an intellectual way or a rational way or in a material way, but like emotionally and spiritually and things like this. Not in a way where you're like, I gotta protect my heart, I don't want to get hurt again. Not in a way where you're like, I gotta use my discernment, I gotta divine and make sure that this person's not gonna cheat on me, right? But rather in a way that's a little bit more, it's a little bit more, do you remember when there was so much magic when we were little? You know, sometimes when we're really, really spiritually tuned, but to that specific frequency or that specific realm or that specific spirit guide, and just kind of get the chills, but in like a magical, fun way. That freedom, that liberation, that purity, that it's almost artistic. It's that. So your advice is to connect with your magic. 10 of Cups, okay. We do have energies to spend time with family. Specifically like family and pets are coming through, quality time with family and pets. If it's available to you, say yes to taking that little, I'm getting vacation or staycation or baycation. Okay, go off group 2. Okay, I won't tell if you don't, okay? But I'm getting, say yes if you have an opportunity to travel or go camping or just have a little staycation or something like this. Maybe some of you will get sponsored to stay at a hotel. You got to drive to the next city over and you're like, I don't know, right? Or someone invites you on a little vacation, okay? It's your advice, just in case. And it might not be something that occurs during December. It might be something where you might be wondering, oh, well, maybe let's wait until February. That's when Saturn goes into Aries. Okay, on Valentine's Day, girl, run. Okay, do it now. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, that actually, it's going in Aries on Valentine's Day. But the rest of it is, you know, your free will. But that's coming through as advice. So you might receive an offer or something like this, okay? Go on a retreat, meet up with some friends, go on a little vacation, something like this. I'm also getting some advice for you to let yourself have a few good cries. Let yourself whine a little bit, okay, in ways that maybe you didn't get to when you were younger. That might have been very, very valid. There's definitely this energy of responsibility that I'm picking up on from you that you're doing a really good job working on. We want to always be responsible, but we also don't want to kind of push ourselves too much. We don't want to be hyper independent, although, you know, you might have needed to be, right? So there's that vibe of what's required of you versus what's healthy for you. And I see that you've been doing work there for a while and you're doing a really wonderful job. Now, if I can give you some advice, it would be to let yourself whine a little bit, not like, you know, to be maybe an emotional brat in front of other people, but if you're at home and just letting yourself have like but I don't wanna, maybe cry a little bit and maybe get a tub of ice cream or vegan ice cream from your store and sit in bed and watch The Notebook and cry and watch it because that's what honors you, okay? And some of you might be going, oh my God, yuck, right? But it might also be exactly what the doctor ordered. So keeping an eye on that. With that being said, I'm seeing that there's some clarity coming to you with some health problems. I'm getting some brighter days ahead, specifically relating to your health. I'm also getting to make sure that you're going outside and receiving vitamin D and serotonin from the actual sun. A lot of you are taking vitamin D, or a lot of you are meditating and you're getting your serotonin, your doom scrolling, whatever it is that you're doing, okay? I'm getting that you are receiving what's required, but make sure that I'm getting seeing the light of day, especially during December when we have the least amount of daylight hours. And a lot of you might even live in places, well, in the Northern Hemisphere, we have the least amount of daylight hours, but a lot of you also live in places where the sun doesn't usually come out all the time anyway. Like I know a lot of you are in the UK and places like this as well. So with that, just try your best when the sun's coming out. If it's available to you, just take a little 5-minute break, go outside, stand under the sun and go, hello, my love, I've missed you, right? Get those rays, okay? I'm not telling you that you don't have to wear your sunscreen. I'm not telling you to sun damage your skin. I'm not telling you to burn your eyes, okay? We all have our own ideas about what is and is not healthy with the sun. Just make sure that you're let's just say, get out there and photosynthesize, okay? Just to bring a lighthearted energy there. This is going to be, you're going to be on top of it in December. I'll be super honest with you. It feels as though your advice is to keep doing what you're doing, keep doing the work, okay? Keep showing up. You're going to be very empowered. You're going to be very, very satisfied with how December goes and for your plans for the year ahead that's coming through as well. You've got some really positive, lucky energies ahead for you, and they're going to happen really quickly. Specifically in terms of abundance, you are going to feel called to step away from some things, at least temporarily, okay? So try your best not to hold on to them and try to do too many things at once. And I'm getting towards the end of December and the beginning of January, okay? So let go of what needs to get let go of. You can always circle back around, okay? If you have room on your plate for 6 things, but you like to do 8 things, you can have them on rotation. You don't need to do them all the time, okay? Because there's going to be a shift, but you're going to need to, you're going to want to have extra room in your hands to carry a few extra things. You've got a lot of blessings coming in December and January, specifically December here. So just make sure you've got a little extra room in your hands. You don't need to fully drop any of those 8 things. Just, have 6 of them or have 8 of them on rotation where you're carrying maybe 3 or 4 at a time. Okay. That way you can always pick up a couple extra things. It's easier to juggle 10 items than it is to hold 10 items. And I'm not getting to juggle, make you feel like you're being stretched in a million different directions. It's just that, be gentle with yourself if you don't finish knitting that sweater by Christmas, let it be something that you work on and chip away over time. You don't have to sit down and put 5 hours into it until it's done. Okay, same with reading that book. You don't have to finish it today. You can read 10 pages today and 50 pages tomorrow and no pages the day after that, okay? Just letting yourself show up in this way, okay, for yourself, because we do see that there are going to be some things that are shaken up for you, but it's going to be all relating to what's coming in. So you want to make sure you've got a little bit of extra space, okay, extra space in your heart to hold some extra emotions that are going to come up, extra space in your mind to understand things differently after clear communication, extra space in your life because there are going to be some things that come in that you're going to want to have more permanently over a course of a long time in your life, and you're going to want to have room. We do see that there's someone coming in the beginning of the month that is looking to take more of an everyday role in your life in some way, or more of a regular role in your life in some way. You're going to want to have room for that. So we see here that you have very, very strong claircognizance, very, very strong spiritual abilities. There was also this vibe here of connecting maybe through psychometry or other spiritual gifts with physical items perhaps. So again, we're looking at burn that hoodie, girl. Okay, I'm looking at you. Okay, but it smells weird. Okay, I know it does. Things like that. Okay, or if you are making your grandma's Christmas cookie recipe. Okay, feeling that connection, really getting into that vibe. Okay, living, loving, drinking up that spiritual energy that comes along with those things. Unless it's something that you don't want there, then intentionally put it away or cleanse it or set it on fire because he cheated on you. I don't know. Anyway, so group number 2. I'm getting that that's not all. So there's one more message that wants to come through. Okay, here it is. I found it. Okay, you're going to have a very quick and surprising success. When it comes to, you're going to have something go really, really positively in December. This is something that did not come out in the whole rest of this reading. This is a situation that hasn't come out yet in this reading. Okay, there's something that you are working on or finishing up or thinking about, deliberating, whatever, right now. Literally, whenever you're listening to this, it's going to go really, really surprisingly well for you. I'm getting the best that it's gone to date. So just expect a positive surprise here. It might take a little while for it to kick off, but when it does, it's going to happen quickly. So it might be the first week, the first month, crickets, but then you wake up overnight and it's wow, Oh, that was fun. That was fast. That's crazy. I love that. Cool. Okay, so just wanted to let you know that that was the last message. I could feel it was lingering somewhere in there. So group number 2, this is your December 2025. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity for you. I've got discounts on my personals right now. You can find them on Etsy at Spiritualistik. Okay, I've got Black Friday, Christmas, and New Year's sales. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would mean the world to me. If this was your pile, drop a little star emoji in the comment box, and don't forget to like this video. If you want to watch exclusive content, meditate with me, or join my book club, you can find all of those things on Patreon. I also post channeled messages here on my YouTube subs channel. Also, I'm on TikTok and on Instagram, so you can follow me across platforms at Spiritualistik. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Have an amazing day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, Group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at your December 2025 predictions, and you selected the third group with the Holding Space card. I'm getting here that December is going to feel both like a breath of fresh air for you, but also like its own little bubble outside of the rest of the year. So one thing that's coming through with this that's really interesting is that you might feel a little bit aware of how much time has passed. I'm hearing that phrase, the days are long, but the years are short. But it's giving a really positive and nostalgic energy. You might feel called to slow down a little bit. You might have some time to rest, or you might be feeling more restful and more at peace just throughout the course of the month. Now we're going to go week by week and see how your specific December 2025 is going to go. What I do want to let you know is that you might want to pull out a notebook for this, but I'm also going to share mine with you. So if it's easier for you, you can just take a screenshot. We will go through the tarot, of course, and see your individual energies. I've covered the bottom here because this is also the page I plan my content on for the month. So I just covered it up with my little dream journal here. I have consolidated December into 5 different weeks, and I've gone through all of the astrological transits and the energies, and I've come out with the very, very general themes week by week. So apply this to your birth chart so that you can see how the energy is more specified to you. And of course, we're going to look at the tarot to see how this will also manifest in your life. So I have week 1 as December 1 through 6. The general themes here are strategic planning and foundations, looking at long-term goals, developing disciplined routines, taking practical steps towards your aspirations. Week number 2 I have as the 7th through the 13th. This looks at innovation, vision, individuality, humanitarianism, and it also takes a look at creating a better future, new ideas, communities, and a little bit of rebellion too. Week number 3 I have as the 14th through 20th. This takes a look at forward progress, originality, intellect, collective consciousness, change, group efforts, freedom, and mental intellectual exploration. Week number 4 is the 21st through 27th, and this takes a look at emotional intelligence, spirituality, intuition, expression, and things like creativity, empathy, compassion, introspection, and emotional well-being. And I have the last week here, week 5, as the 28th through 31st, just those last few days. This energy looks at releasing dreams, like the kind you have when you're asleep, and like your aspirations, innocence, reflection, perpetuation, setting intentions, endings, but more in the vibe of like releasing what doesn't serve you, closing things out, more so than just letting things go in life, right? We're not necessarily removing a ton of stuff. Artistry, and then we also have the energy of like astral realms, Akashic records, and spirituality. Basically 12th house things. With that, we're going to go week by week with the tarot, and we're going to see how these will manifest for you. Group number 3. Angel, spirits, guides, ancestors of group number 3, and source. Tell us about, week number 1 for group 3. So week number 1 of December, it looks like you're going to show up already ready and committed, okay? You're going to know what's going on. I'm also saying that you are going to have been working on something for a while. Week number 1, it feels like December just kind of starts feeling like it's in the middle of the work week for you. It might not necessarily be. It does start, I think, on a Sunday. I could be wrong. I don't have the actual calendar in front of me, but it's going to feel like you're in the middle of a bunch of stuff that you've kind of been just showing up for. Like, it's like, oh wow, it's December already. Wow, far as I can tell, it could be Wednesday when really it's a Friday. It could be October when it's December. There's a little bit of this vibe, but it's coming from being committed to something, showing up for something, being disciplined, in a positive way, in a more or less healthy way. It's not giving like toxic or that you're having brain fog or anything intense like this. I'm seeing that this is something that's abundant for you and something that is helping you to speak your truth, live in your authenticity, and also to set the scales kind of more in balance for you. So this might look like you working hard coming into the month, you're speaking your truth, maybe you're doing some inner work, whatever it is, you're really showing up for it. And you're doing it well is something that's coming through. So week number 1, we have, well, of course, it's right on top of the theme too. It's looking like foundations, planning, long-term goals, developing discipline routines. I want to notice you have Ace of Swords right in the center here, and for some reason I'm literally tripping over my words, so I'm going to have some water and then we're going to interpret this energy. It seems as though something is coming out, and the first week of December you're really going to be owning it, okay? So it might not be something that is, it's not giving anything that's bad, okay? It might be that you are posting something on TikTok or on Instagram and you're really proud of yourself, but maybe it's the kind of thing that makes you like nervous. Kind of when you want to hit send on a message and then throw your phone across the room and run away and forget about it. It's kind of giving this vibe a little bit. So it might be speaking a truth, it might be making a post, it might be sharing a story or opening up, maybe confessing to somebody, something like this. I want to notice that we don't have cups here, so this is probably something that is relating to maybe a truth or an image or social media or something that's with finances. So it could be that you publish your book, right, or something along these lines. So this is week number 1 for you. Week number 2, it seems as though there's a little bit of stress in the beginning of the week, but you're happy. So it's you stress, not mal stress. So it's positive stress. Nonetheless, stress. So there's a lot going on, a lot of energy. There are some changes. You're trying to stay balanced. You're on top of everything. Nonetheless, there's a lot going on. Okay? You might be a little bit busy. You might be a little bit slightly overwhelmed, but you're still on top of everything. It's kind of the vibe where you are maybe doing a great job at being a superhero in some way, shape, or form. Again, it's not super intense, but it's just a little bit like it's brushing up the edge of your capacity there. However, it is something where you might feel as though, I can't stop, I gotta keep going. It's a little bit of this vibe. I am getting as well that it is going to definitely yield positive results, but I do want to mention, okay, week number 2, be careful not to accidentally burn yourself out. Okay, so make sure that you're taking intentional time to sit with your emotions, intentional time to rest non-productively with your whole brain turned off, intentional time to speak your truth, maybe even to whine a little bit if that is something that you feel is necessary, okay? Now, this is the week energetically of innovation, vision, individuality, humanitarianism. You are creating a better future for yourself. You have a ton of new ideas you want to work towards, or you're drafting your new book or whatever it is. You are probably really involved in your community. A lot of this that's coming through has to do with talking to others, a familial or friendly setting, talking, traveling, different languages and things like this as well. This might be the kind of vibe where you're being a really good friend this week. You are networking really well this week. You took on an extra couple jobs this week. You picked up an extra couple shifts. You are working on writing that book behind the scenes. You've got medical appointments to go to. You are showing up. You're hitting the gym. You're going to Pilates. You are making your green juice. You're doing all of the things, right? So you're doing amazing. However, there is a little bit of the awareness here that whatever this is isn't fully sustainable, but you're close. You've almost got it, okay? And by almost, I mean what you're doing right now, great. But there's also this little undertone of rebellion energy in the general themes for week 2. We do have the 2 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. This is going to be, I'm getting that that phrase like meat and potatoes, so let's say like tofu and potatoes. The tofu here is going to be like the 10 of Cups and the 8 of Wands, the positive energy. Okay, but the things on the side, it's like the main stuff is going to be good. You're going to like it. You're going to feel productive and fulfilled. But there's going to be a lot going on behind the scenes about trying to stay balanced, being a little bit stressed, or just having a lot going on. And also there's a feeling of you doing so much, and I'm getting that you are either feeling like if you're receiving enough in return, you don't have the time or the bandwidth to sit and enjoy it, okay? Say you're working really hard, you're making a ton of money, it's showing up in your bank account, but you don't even have time to sit and count your money, or you don't have time to sit down and spend it, or you don't have time to sit down and appreciate a job well done, right? It doesn't need to be about money. It can be about just feeling like you don't have maybe enough time to sit down and appreciate things. One thing I want to mention is that I know all of us here do not celebrate Christmas, but this is kind of getting close to Christmas season, and I didn't get this message in the other pile, so there's a reason for it. It can also be something along the lines of feeling like you are running around preparing for the holidays, or you're running around just getting a lot of stuff done, and there's a little part of you that's like, well, what if I didn't do all of this year? There's a little part of you that's like, well, I'm doing so much for other people that I don't know would do this in return for me. Or, what is the point of spending all this money at TJ Maxx on decorations when maybe they're laced with chemicals and I can't really afford to spend all this extra money, and I don't have the space in my house and I don't know where I'm going to store them, and then it takes extra time for me to set it up, right? And so for a lot of us, that's something that we love and look forward to every year. But also there's a question of bandwidth. Again, we see you brushing right up at the edge of your bandwidth, right up at the edge of what you would consider your capacity. And we see you kind of having this, well, is it worth it? Question. Okay. So something here that's not sustainable, but right now it works. So we're thinking, we're getting the gears turning. Okay. So week number 3 with progress, originality, intellect, collective consciousness. Let's see, how's week number 3 going to go for group number 3? Change, group effort, freedom, intellectual, mental exploration. Week number 3, you're going to want to phone a friend. I have a feeling you're going to want to phone a friend, but you're not going to. The friend is probably going to be your higher self. It's probably going to be your spirit. It might be some extra tarot card readings on YouTube, okay? Just going to call it how I see it. Yep, with the magician, we're pulling out the cards, we're pulling out the astrology transits, we're pulling out the crystal ball. We're looking at the draconic charts, we're going into the archives, okay? Because you know what you're meant to do, and you want to take the next steps. You also want to make sure that you do it right, because while what you're doing is working, it's not sustainable. And it doesn't mean that you should stop doing what you're doing. In fact, you know that you're on the right track. You even know that you're doing all the right things, but you also know that there's a better way. There's some sort of an innovation. I'm hearing the word cutting edge. There's some sort of a solution here that you know is here, and you also know that in some way, it's got to come from within. You have to move from a place of peace, or from a place of intuition, or from a place of both. It's just giving a vibe like this, okay? So week number 3, you're coming into awareness. You receive the rest that you need, which is huge. The peace that you need, which again is huge. The information that you need, which is huge. And you move forward following your heart. And again, there's that friend energy. With a friend. You move forward with a friend. So some of you might also have a surprise visit from a friend between the end of week 2 to week 3. So somewhere around maybe December, let's say December 10th through December 18th, you might have a little surprise visit popping up here. So just keep your calendar open. And I'm also getting, a lot of you might not have extra time, right? But if someone's coming to visit, if you're having a loved one, like you're calling your friend on the phone a little extra, or they want to hang out a little bit more, they're going through a breakup, right? Or they come into town and they want to visit, it might kind of help you re-ground and reassess your priorities a little bit. Coming back to center, grounding, peace, following your heart, having good times with friends and family, and having a little more fun, okay? We're looking at something here where you're kind of feeling, okay, so I can be superhero human in this area, but I also shouldn't have to be. And at the same time, I can have fun. I can let my hair down. I can let loose. I can enjoy. I can breathe. So we have this duality that's occurring week 2 and week 3. That is important. There's a balanced place in between that is really centered on your spirituality and your stillness. So this is going to be something that I would recommend for you to kind of weave into the end of week 1 of December here, just to help you kind of take some of this energy and like weave it between weeks 1 and 2 so that you feel a little bit less stressed. You have a little more space in between a lot of stuff that's going on. Okay. Let's see week number 4. For group 3, ooh, High Priestess. This is the EQ, the spirituality, the intuition, the expression week. Okay? And we got the High Priestess with holding space. Now, others have held space for you. You've held space for others. She also fell on top of her card counterpart, the Hierophant. So there's definitely some sort of connection here you have with the divine, with your intuition, maybe a spiritual connection with someone else that is kind of lighting up week number 4. So this looks like your intuition sharpening and maybe being able to take practical action based upon some intuitive downloads. For some of you, it's grounding some sort of a spiritual connection or spiritual idea that you've had for a long time. Okay? It's going to be something that feels like the solution to week number 2 a little bit, but it's a little bit more that when you are actually taking action, it feels like you're giving to yourself more than anything, even though it is something that's technically productive. You're going to find that it feels worth it because you enjoy. You either feel like you're playing, you feel like you're playing, or you feel like you're praying. There's something like this that is really, it feels like a blessing to get to do it. It's also going to be fulfilling towards your inner child as well. I'm also picking up on this energy that's kind of just present on the very, very undertones of this. That's very lightly flirty. So some of you might be flirting a little bit. Again, it's not a lot. I'm not seeing anything huge, like you're getting a love offer, it's going to be huge, but I'm getting a little bit of a flirty undertone. So maybe we're singing Mariah Carey in our hairbrushes in our bathroom when no one's looking, right? We get out of the shower, we're feeling ourselves, and we're pretending we got her vocals. Maybe you're talking to somebody. Page of Cups can indicate a date, perhaps. So there might be something here. Again, it doesn't feel like it's, doesn't feel huge, but I can definitely sense the presence here. Some of the cards here can indicate this, but none of them are at the forefront of December for you. Nonetheless, it is present. I'm getting here that there's a little bit of a question here towards the end of week 4 about, let's see, if you open your heart, if you keep moving in this direction that you've been led into spiritually, the one that you enjoy, right? Is it going to end up being worth it? Is all of this energy going to pay off? Is this energy going to end up paying off, or is it going to end up creating an energetic or monetary or emotional debt for you? There's a little bit of risk it for the biscuit energy that's coming through. Is it going to be worth the risk? How are you going to know, right? And there's always going to be a little bit of risk when it comes to making a new friend, even if you're intuitive and you have good discernment. There's always a little bit of a risk when you get a new job, when you go out on a date, when you open yourself up, when you make big changes to the plans, but sometimes those are the best things you can do. So we have this vibe of, we see you kind of pulling back your heart-centered energy just a little bit towards the end of week 4, because you're kind of predicting a bit of a struggle that doesn't need to be there. It feels as though like something petty that could happen, or 5 of Wands can indicate people that are fighting for the sake of fighting, or they're fighting and they don't realize that the actual war is over, but they're still fighting a battle because they didn't get word yet. It can also be people who are like maybe addicted to chaos or addicted to drama or things like this, and they're kind of just going at it and they don't even know why they're fighting or why they're arguing. It's just because they're used to having that tone of voice and that vibe. There's no point to it. And so there's a question of this. It's what's the point, but you love it. Is this going to have a return of investment, or is this going to hurt, basically? So we have the Death with the 2 of Swords, 10 of Swords. So basically you are going to be encouraged to push through. You're going to know this intuitively. You're going to feel it in your heart too. And the universe is also going to show you that you do have other options to fall back on too. So it kind of lowers the stakes a little bit. So it's going to be good news for you. Week number 5. This is release. Release what doesn't serve you. This is looking at your dreams, innocence, reflection, perpetuation, setting intentions, artistry, astral and Akashic stuff. Week number 5 for group number 3. Let's see. 9 of Cups. Beautiful. Look at that. Blissful energy, feeling emotionally abundant and fulfilled on your own. Feeling complete on your own. Feeling empowered. Feeling like you can take care of yourself really well as well. You're feeling decisive. And you're feeling a little bit lighter than you have in a while. That energy is coming through as well. You're really going to feel like you've done a good job. Like you're going to be looking back at you reparenting yourself, at the shadow work that you've done, at all of the physical work you've put into stuff. You'll look back at all that you've learned, all that you are learning, all that you've taught, all that you've created, all that you've downloaded, all that you've realized, all that you've grown, all that you've grown up. And you're going to feel satisfied. You're going to feel proud of yourself. You're going to feel a way about yourself that is going to feel new to you. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel beautiful inside and out. You're going to feel as though you are the one who single-handedly changed your life because you chose to. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. Be the change you want to see in the world. You did. You are. You do. You will. And there's this learning of how beautiful you are, where it actually kind of starts to get through to you a little bit how amazing you actually are, and how much you've actually grown, and how on top of it you actually are, and how capable and beautiful and perceptive and adaptive you are, all the beautiful, wonderful, amazing things. And it feels as though there's this softening into your power. It's not an emboldening, it's a softening into your power. Feeling as though, say that your heart is feeling propelled, right? Or it's feeling compelled, or it's feeling drawn to do, to move, to achieve, to arrive. It's at this place of, wow, I don't feel that anymore. It's peace. It's peace, and it's also awareness of how amazing you are. And also the fact that it cannot possibly be, it's not something that can be paid due to anybody else except for you. You're the one who did all of the work. Credit where credit is due, and even if you wanted to place it outside of yourself, you couldn't possibly. And there's this becoming comfortable with this. It's finally hitting you. And you're also aware that, sure, there's more you can learn. But following your heart, the concept of following your heart, is going to start to feel and look different to you conceptually moving forward. And there's going to be some sort of a spiritual blessing, gift, or like spiritual inheritance kind of energy that's connected to this realization. So that's week 5. It's like a release. Release what doesn't serve you, but it's release and perpetuation. It's a job well done. There's an energy of a release, an internal release, and also there's the energy of almost a legacy left behind, where something doesn't need to change anymore. It's a really beautiful energy. For some of you, I'm getting this energy of like catharsis. It feels like you could just sit down and cry because like you finally made it, or you finally did it, or you finally arrived. And afterwards you allow yourself to feel proud of yourself and happy with yourself, and maybe sad for the moments that you had to wait for it, or sad for the version of you that had to work so hard to get here, or proud of yourself for sticking with it. There's just this energy of completion. And I'm not getting a lot of feelings, but there's this release, and there's this fulfillment, and there's this being proud of yourself, but in a really healthy way. And so along with that might come a happy cry or two. Along with that might come learning how to cope with that, learning how to speak to yourself differently a little bit. Things like that. Learning how to perceive yourself differently because you're not someone who is becoming, you're someone who has became. This kind of vibe. Okay. So really, really beautiful December for you. We're going to take a look at your advice for group number 3 for December 2025. I'm hearing keep moving on. I think it's Avril Lavigne. Because we'll make it through, Knight of Swords. Okay. Group 3. Tell your story. Tell your story, or prepare to tell your story. You're going to meet a significant person in December or you've recently met someone who you realize becomes a significant person in December. And this is going to be something that you stumble upon. You're going to feel like, okay, your advice here is not to wait for things to come to you. Just keep what you have almost to your chest. Like, it's giving like, don't move. Something's trying to find you. But it's not meant to come in. You're not supposed to do it. It's just this breath. Like, things are where they're supposed to be. Okay? Yeah, so tell your story. Oh, I see. Tell the story of the times that things didn't work out for you, because it makes you more understood. For example, if I shared with you, say that you see me on TikTok and you're like, she's got over 100K. Whoa, like I wish I could do that. First of all, it's taken me so many years. So many years. There are a lot of people who started after me who've got way more than that. And also, it's a long journey. We don't compare ourselves with others, right? Also, this is like, oh my God, like the 5th business that I started. It's the only one that's even remotely thought about succeeding. You know, it's like sharing things like this. Now, I'm not getting to, it's not about a sob story. It's not about empathy. It's about like sharing your story, sharing your truth, because what's meant for you cannot pass you up. And that's kind of the advice that's coming through for you for December too, especially with all of the, like, you've got it, you're on top of it, you feel like you're almost there, you're at that point where that last stretch is the hardest, you're right at capacity, things start to kind of work out for you. So another thing that's coming through is when you have an opportunity to rest, try not to make it productive rest. Let yourself rest, like actually rest, okay? Another thing that's coming through is hold on to your blessings. The things that come in, they're here for you. They're not here for you to give away. I think that message came out in a different pile too. The things that you need, you have everything you need, okay? You have the holding space card. You have everything that you need. I'm also getting that in December, don't try to start a ton of new things, because you're going to have a lot on your plate and you're going to have a few little things that come up that you're going to want to make space for. Again, we have maybe like a little visit from somebody showing up in here too, an interaction or a date, or your friend coming into town, or catching up with a cousin you haven't seen in a while. Like, we've got a little bit of a vibe like this that's coming through. You're going to want to have time for that. We have a little bit of an undertone of, maybe you going out on a date, you meeting someone and talking to them a little bit. You're going to want to have time for that. And on top of that, you're going to just want to have a little bit of extra time and a little extra space. You're going to want to be able to hold space, especially week number 2 is going to be just busy for you. Mostly like busy energetically or physically. At the very least, it's going to be stimulating for you. So, try not to pick up too many new things right now. Not that you can't, right? But give yourself some grace. Just give yourself the kindness of maybe putting it off a couple weeks or until January. Things like that. Okay? Because you are going to have some things you're going to want to make room for. And yourself is going to be one of them. Okay? Again, you're being encouraged to share stories. You're being encouraged to share your story. And you're also being encouraged to, this 2 of Cups is really standing out to me. I know it's got another message in here. There's something here that has come undone that's going to come together again. You're going to receive some sort of information or message or clue or something that is going to re-spark. I'm getting a divine belonging within you. And so your advice here is to be open to it and trust that is for you, will not pass you up, and that what's not for you will leave. And also that if it is for you, it's free to leave and still can come find you again. Okay. So, any more advice for group number 3 before we close out here? I'm really getting nope, group threes got it. Even the advice section, it was more a little like nuances. Oh, there's this one, and there's that one, and there's this one. It's not even like really advice. King of Swords. Okay. Queen and King of Swords. It is holiday season. Okay, so let's keep the boundaries up. Okay, if we're sitting around the table with people who have different beliefs or ideas or politics than us, okay. Nine of Swords with the Seven of Cups reversed with the King of Swords, okay. Advice here. It is to not reveal your hand with as many options as you have, and try to avoid conversations or people who, when face to face with them or confronting with them, it makes you feel like you have no other options in any area of life. That's advice for you for December. So for example, say that you feel as though there are a lot of job opportunities that you have, and right now you're trying to think about the good ones, okay? Which one aligns with me the most? Which one feels good for me, right? Well, if you have someone coming in and they're like, I'm the star of the show, and whether it's contractual or whether it's just a vibe you're picking up on, like, no, only me, don't look at any of the other options, right? There can be even readers like that on YouTube or TikTok or anything like that. If there's a vibe of, no, only this one, only me, of, no, there are, what other options? There are no other options, it's only me, right? That, give it the axe. Okay, so there's some tea. There's some advice for you. Now, of course, this can be talking to Uncle Joey at the table at Christmas dinner, and he's yapping to you about politics, and he's trying to triangulate you with Aunt Gloria onto believing something, or trying to smash you in a debate, whatever it is, okay, things like that. There's something really special that's going to happen in your heart space during December. Seriously, there really, really is. So focus on that. This is going to be a really beautiful, glorious, creative month for you. I keep hearing Gloria. I think that's a Christmas song too. Probably a religious one, because I grew up Catholic, so a lot of that is in my family. And so in my Christmas traditions, I don't resonate with that. But, it's in my subconscious. So there's something maybe about the star on top of a tree, or ancestral energy, largely what it is that you want, where you want to go. We've got a vibe of social media again coming through, speaking your truth, evolving, having fun. Don't forget to have fun. Okay, don't forget to have fun. Even if Uncle so-and-so is being a around so-and-so's blah, blah, blah. All right, you totally got this, Group 3. I hope you enjoy your December. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would mean a lot to me. Don't forget to like and comment. If this was your reading, drop let's see, what's a fun emoji? Drop one of the monkey emojis in the comment section. And yeah, like the reading, share it with a friend that you think would enjoy seeing their December 2025 prediction. If you'd like a one-on-one with me, I have discounts on my spiritual shop on Etsy, including personals, which is Black Friday, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. I have discounts going on for all three of those. Of course, Black Friday is the biggest one, but nonetheless, a discount is a discount. So if you want to work with me, the holiday season is the time to do so. If you're not already following me on different social media platforms, you are more than welcome to join the family on TikTok and on Instagram. If you would like to meditate with me, or join my little book club, or see more exclusive content, you can find that on my Patreon. If you want to send me a Christmas card, I'd love to see you and your significant others and your children and your pets, or you and your Santa outfit. My P.O. box is in the description box below. And anything else? Oh, I've got a YouTube membership channel too. That's a lot of channeled messages. So if that is your vibe, you can find me over there too. I'm doing a lot of different stuff. So you're more than welcome to check it out. I'd love to have you everywhere. I'd love to have you join the community. I'd love to connect with you personally. And thank you for letting me read your energy. Enjoy your December. Have an amazing day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.